Hello, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about SMART goals. And here's a question for you. What if you could actually have your goal put into the future as if it actually already happened? Guess what? It can be. So we're going to first talk about goals, SMART goals. And SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is an acronym. And an acronym is a word that actually has letters that mean something. So SMART doesn't mean that it's, wow, it's incredibly intelligent. It is. However, SMART in this case stands for specific words. So SMART, S stands for specific. So when you're setting a goal, it needs to be specific as well as simple. So specific, a date. So say you want to set a goal for into the future, for January 2020. Well, let's make it even more specific than that. January 5th, 2021. Not specific enough. Let's make it even more specific. January 12th at 5 p.m. 2021. Is that specific enough? I think so, yeah. So specific and simple. The next one also, now also your goal has to be specific, something that you want by January 12th, 2021 at 5 p.m. What specific thing do you want at that day to happen? What is it? And so specific. Oh, I want to lose weight. That's not specific enough. Remember yesterday we talked about the unconscious, and the unconscious needs specific directions. So if you say, I want to lose weight, January, whatever, well, it could wait until that very day to lose weight, and it could be 1 pound, a half a pound. So the unconscious one needs specific directions as well as it needs ongoing directions, okay? And so make sure it's specific and ongoing, okay? The other thing is that, so S stands for simple or specific. The other one is M for measurable or meaningful to you, not somebody else, but to you. A goal is not good if it's meant for somebody else. I want to lose weight for my friend. I want to lose weight to look good for the reunion because other people will be looking at me. No. It has to be for you personally. That's how the unconscious works, is for you, not for somebody else. That makes sense, doesn't it? So it has to be measurable and meaning for you. So SM. A, as if now it occurred. As if now. Or it has to be achievable, as well as all areas of your life. Areas spiritual, intellectual, relationship, career, those things also, okay? As well as R. So S, specific or simple. M, measurable or meaningful to you. A, as if now, achievable, and all areas of your life. R, realistic or responsible or ecological. So what does that mean, ecological? I want to be a millionaire next week. One, it's not achievable for next week to occur, okay? 2, ecological. Would it actually be okay for me to be a millionaire next week? Would it be okay for that to happen for society? Would it be okay for my family for that to happen? Ecological means that we're looking at the whole picture, whether or not that's good, right? So there are certain things that wouldn't be good for your family or for yourself or for society to happen. So be careful with your goals too. And your unconscious, again, keeps you safe as well as keeps your values safe. So if you create a goal that's not in line with your values, your unconscious will not help you achieve that goal, which is what you want, is to be able to achieve the goal you want, right? So then the other one is, so we got SMART, timed or toward what you want. So it has to be specific enough that is timed for what you want towards the end goal. Again, you want different goals along the way, and you want it very specific towards what you want, and it has to be timed or timely. So these are things about the goals. Now, what if you could put a goal into your future as if it occurred already? Think about that. It's almost like traveling in time and accomplishing the goal in the future. And then when the future comes, you're like, oh, look at that, it's accomplished, woo! It's kind of similar, okay? So timeline therapy, I've talked about timeline therapy before. Timeline therapy in the past that I've talked about is getting rid of trapped negative emotions, so that you can continue on and achieve your goals. Well, guess what? Timeline therapy also, so negative emotions have occurred in the past, right? And we're cleaning those up and taking the learnings from it. Well, guess what? Timeline therapy also is used in creating futuristic goals, where you actually go into the future to that specific date that you're talking about, you want a goal to accomplish, and you're actually visualizing it occurring. Not just visualizing it, but this time, remember in the past when we talked about negative emotions and releasing them, that we didn't actually feel the emotion. We did not associate with the emotion, because that would be living it again. And we don't want to live that again because it's already happened, one, and two, it wasn't a good emotion, right? And so we don't want to relive that again because it would be too painful, and it's not ecological. See what ecological means? It's not good for you nor anybody else that you would experience that again. However, in timeline therapy, when we're talking about putting a goal into your future timeline, it's almost like traveling in time and creating the goal and having the goal and accomplishing the goal in the future. And then when that time comes, it's there. It's voila. It's been taken care of. The goal is done. So timeline therapy is traveling, not really traveling, but in your mind, seeing yourself in the future, January, 12th, right? 12th at 5 p.m., accomplishing this one specific goal. So in timeline therapy, through hypnosis, through the process of NLP, and I'll talk about NLP tomorrow, a little bit more about that. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, and it's the language we use with ourselves as with other people. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too. There's a lot involved in that. But through NLP and hypnosis, timeline therapy, we take a person, so say me, I do not do this to people, but they do it themselves. I just ask them questions and I talk with them and their unconscious mind, and we travel into the future. Okay, and I just ask them questions about their SMART goal. We travel into the future on their timeline in their unconscious so that they can see into the future, the specific date, the specific time, and then we talk about that goal. We talk about how they're going to feel when it's accomplished. Is there a specific feeling? Does it have a shape? Does it have a feeling? Does it have a color? Because sometimes people see feelings as in colors. I know some of you are like, what? Well, yeah, absolutely. Some people do see them bright, see them as pictures, see them as movies, see them, so on and so forth. So we talk about those goals into the future, auditorily, if you can hear something important, visually, if you can see something important, kinesthetically, if you could feel something important. So they actually go into their timeline as if they're traveling through time to that specific day. We hover above that day and we have them feel, hear, and feel and see that goal as if it were happening to them that specific day into the future. And then, so that's actually how we do it into timeline therapy. And that's how we put it into a person's future as if it occurred. Now, the important part of timeline therapy when putting a goal into the future is as we come back into now, this very present, this moment, which is so important to every single thing in our life, is this very moment, is that as they come out of that hypnotic trance, that their unconscious mind actually gathers all the information that it will need to actually accomplish that goal. So we're working with the unconscious mind to be able to help it, to help you to accomplish your goal you wanted to accomplish. Isn't that awesome? Now, something that may stand in the way, though, of you accomplishing goals, we've talked about this before, too, is that these negative emotions, right? Sometimes are unconscious because there are certain things associated with certain goals. Like I talked about losing weight, my unconscious, there were negative emotions attached to losing weight because when I was younger, I dealt with anorexia, which isn't good for your health, obviously, right? And so my unconscious remembered losing weight was equated or equal to not being healthy. And so before we can accomplish a smart goal or put it into the future, we have to take care of those trapped emotions or things that may be standing in your way of accomplishing those goals, along with congruency. And I'll talk about that in a different video too, is about congruency and how we gain congruency. So congruency, again, is like that example of losing weight and anorexia, being healthy, not being healthy, right? Because most people, when they think about losing weight, they think about becoming healthy, correct? Yes? Because lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, all those great things about being healthy. However, if you've had something that happened or that you did, like anorexia or bulimia, or you were in the hospital and lost tons of weight, your unconscious mind may not be equating losing weight with being healthy. So your mind is incongruent. Your behaviors may be incongruent to setting that goal. And so that's another thing that we would work on, is letting go of those negative emotions. And who knows, sometimes we don't lose weight because we're trying to protect ourselves. If any of you dealt with physical abuse or sexual abuse in particular, people that have dealt with sexual abuse often use being overweight a way to protect themselves from attackers, from people that may see them as pretty. Okay, so that may be another hurdle that you may be dealing with that we would work on through timeline therapy, which is awesome because we get rid of those horrible negative emotions and replace them with learning of what you deserve, not just this very moment, but what you've always deserved. So goals are wonderful things, and we want to make sure that they're as specific as possible because our unconscious mind is looking to help us to accomplish things. It likes a riddle. It likes to solve things, our unconscious mind. It wants us to achieve great things because our unconscious mind is who we've always been. And we're just trying to figure out who it is. And it's that wonderful person that's always been there. And we're helping that wonderful person to become you. It's in there already. And your unconscious mind already knows it. And it wants to help you to become that person because it already knows who you are. You just have to work through those emotions, those negative emotions, as well as making congruent those behaviors, as well as those thoughts of congruency. And then we set those goals into the future as if they've already happened. And then when we come into the now, our unconscious mind brings everything together and says, oh, this is what I need to do to accomplish this goal. This is what I see that I need to do. So another thing that happens once we do this, setting the goal into the future, our minds become a little clearer about the goal. And you'll notice a couple of days, that day, first of all, that we put that goal into the future, that one, your mind, when you come out of the trance, when you are more, not remember I talked about hypnosis and the feeling you may have, the feeling of floating and comfortable and calm and peaceful, as well as, or wide awake, right? But when we come out of the trance, our mind will be more expanded and see things more clearly about the goal. And we want to have a piece of paper right away so that if we have new thoughts about this goal, we'll write them down right away, as well as your dreams afterwards that night or a few nights later may actually give you clues to that goal, because our unconscious mind again is helping us to accomplish those things and helping us to solve those puzzles that we want and that we want to achieve. So please contact me. I do 45-minute to an hour free discovery calls where I talk to people to see what I can do to help them to accomplish their dreams and their lives that they've always wanted, and to be able to get rid of that negative emotions, put in learning, and to become the person that they've wanted to be and have always been. They've just struggled. I would love to help you. Please drop a message below or drop a message up above and tell me how to contact you, because I'd love to work with you and help you to accomplish your SMART goals and put them into the future. Have a great night. Bye.